Good morning, friends, students. Today we will start with physics syllabus. This is chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4, energy. The heading of the chapter is energy, and I have given a subtopic as machines. Now, this chapter basically is about machines. Okay, and whatever work we do with machines deal with mechanical energy. Energy is of many types. Okay, many types of energy: electrical energy, light energy, sound energy. Like that, we have with machines. When you do any kind of work, we call it as mechanical energy. Okay. So energy is the capacity to do any kind of work. Now, when is work done? Work is done when an object moves from one place to another. So some force has to be given to that object which makes it move from one place to another. Okay, you might have heard this illustration before also. No matter how much I try to push this wall with all my force, with all my might, I will not be able to move this wall single inch also. Similarly, a train, can I budge a train by pushing it? It's not within my power. I don't have that much force. So in that case, no matter how much force I apply on the object and the object doesn't move, no work is done. Okay, so for work to be done, we need to apply force, and that applied force should move the object from one place to another. So machines also do the same thing, no? We use machines to do some kind of work wherein some objects have to be moved from one place to another. Okay, so in that case, the work done by machines is it produces mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Okay, now we have the beginning. The first topic given is what is machine. Now, in simple language, machine is anything, any device, any object which makes our work easier. Now, easier in the sense, what do you mean when you say that it makes our work easier? Two things you can say. You can do the work much faster than without the machine that you used to do. Also, you do the work more easily than without the machine. Okay, suppose no machines were given to you and you were asked to move a boulder, a big stone. You may see on page number 42, there is a picture. This is the picture. You can see this man. He is trying to move this particular stone, and by the looks of the stone only you can realize that the weight of the stone may be more than the man. Is it possible for him to lift it up like this and move it? Maybe he can do so, but he has to give lot of energy, okay, to lift this stone. So in that case, this particular stick, you can see the stick that he is using is a machine, because this particular stick, if he puts it on top of this particular stone, you can see a small stone is there, and this stick is put on top of the stone, and he is using force downward to move this stone from one place to another. In that case, this machine is also, this stick is also a machine. So machine makes the work easier for him. This particular man, if he were to move the stone without the stick with his hand, I am sure he would get lot of injury. He would hurt his hand first of all, and then it would take him more time to move the stone compared to when he uses the stick. Okay, this stick, if he uses to move the stone, it will take him less time. So machines make our work easier. How? By taking less time and by requiring less amount of effort. Now, next topic is what is effort. Okay, here you can see the definition of machine you can study from here. In your book it is given. Machine is a device that allows a small force, which is called effort, to overcome a large force. Now what is meaning of overcome? To be able to complete some work is the meaning of overcome. So in order to complete this particular work of say lifting this particular stone, now this stone is the load, okay. The work that we are doing on any object, that object becomes the load. So to move this particular stone, the object, if we are able to use a smaller force to overcome this particular load as compared to without using, suppose I give you two choices, move the stone without the stick and move the stone with the stick. So in which case do you think the man will do more easily this work of moving the stone? With the stick, of course. So with the stick, less time, less effort is required, and without the stick, more time, more effort is required. So where it is requiring less time to overcome this particular load, the thing that we are using, that is called machine. Okay, so effort and load, it's plainly given in your book. You just have to follow it. Effort is marked over here in red color. Okay, in red ink it is given there. You can follow that. Effort is the force. Okay, both load and effort, they are force. Okay, load also applies force. Okay, it is sitting on the ground. No? It is applying force downwards because of gravity. That's what we call as weight. Weight of an object is the force applied by it downwards. So the load is also a force, and of course the effort that you are applying, in Bangla we say जोर दावा. Okay, हिंदी में बोलते हैं जोर देना, मेहनत करना, जोर देना. So the effort that you are applying is the force that is applied to the machine. Now when you are using this stick, for example, this stick is the machine. So this man is applying his force on the stick. So that force that he is applying on the stick, or he is applying to the stick, that force is called effort. Okay. Load is the force that the machine applies to the object. Now the amount of force that the man has transferred to the machine, that goes on towards the object. That object is called the load. Okay. So load is the object which you are working on. Effort is the force that we are giving to the machine to move that particular load. Okay. Now here is one more thing that you should keep in mind. I have underlined it here. Without the machine, the effort would be equal to the load. With the machine, with it, the effort is usually much less than the load. Okay. Now suppose here, let me draw and show you the same diagram that is there maybe. This is the big stone. It is sitting on the ground. Here is a man. He is holding this particular stick. Okay, here is that small stone on which the stick is put. This is the load. This is the point where the effort is applied. The effort is applied in this direction. This particular stone on which the machine is resting is called fulcrum. Okay, this is a new word for us. Fulcrum. So fulcrum is a point on which a machine rests, or on which a machine is free to move about. Okay. So whatever movement this machine may do to move this load is done on this particular small stone that you can see in that picture that I showed you. So I have drawn it this way, and this particular object on which the machine is resting is called fulcrum. This is the load. Here is the who is holding the machine, he applies the effort. So if he applies effort in downward direction, this stone is going to move this way. So now, suppose this load, the weight of this load is say 670 kg. With the machine, this man, he has to apply, what do you think? Will it be 70 kg force that he has to give with this stick? No, it will be much lesser. Okay? Maybe he is only giving 40 kg of force. 40 kg force, kgf. Okay, kilogram force. Here is 70 kilogram force of weight, maybe, and he is giving say 40 kilogram force, lesser than the load. But now suppose the same load is there and the man is there. He has only his hands, nothing else, only his hands. Then what do you think? Here is 70 kilogram force. How much force he has to give? 70 kilogram force only. He has to give 70 kilogram force. Not less. He can't do by giving lesser. He has to give at least 70 kilogram force to move this stone without the stick. So what is happening here? With the stick, how much force is given? How much effort he has to give? Lesser than the load, the force given by the load. Okay? So that's the advantage of using machine. Lesser amount of force he has to give to overcome a greater amount of load. And without the machine, at least whatever the load is, at least that much amount of force he has to give, if not more. Okay? At least the least amount of force that will be required will be equal to the force of the load. Okay? So that's the advantage of using a machine. So machine makes our work easier to do. So I hope you understand by this diagram what is effort and what is load. And while using machines, usually in most of the cases we have to give lesser amount of effort to overcome a greater amount of load. Alright. Next, that is given in your book. Types of machine. Okay, machines are of two types. I hope you all can see. Machines are of two types. Simple machines, complex machines. Now, simple machines, you know, all machines are made up of spare parts. What are spare parts? For example, this cycle. Here is a picture of a cycle. This cycle is made up of wheel. The wheel itself is made up of so many things. See, spokes are there. Then in the middle there is this thing, round thing, which is attached to the bar of the cycle. Then two wheels are there, pedal is there, chain is there, maybe a gear is also there, brakes, handle, seat, okay, brake wires. So these are called spare parts. Okay, so those machines which have very few spare parts or only one spare part, like the stick. This is just one long stick. One part is there only. So only one spare part. Or say here, this diagram. You can see pliers, screwdriver, a knife. This plier is made up of this one part and this one part, and in the middle there is a screw. Okay. See, let me draw. I don't know how good I am drawing it. Okay. Here it is attached. So this is one part, this is another part, and here in the middle it is attached with the help of a screw. So how many spare parts? 1, 2, and in the middle this screw is 3. So only 3 spare parts. So those machines which have very few spare parts or only one spare part, they are known as simple machines. But as I have shown you the diagram of cycle, this cycle has more than 2 or 3 spare parts. Okay, we have more than say 20 spare parts. Okay, each screw with which it is attached, they are also regarded as spare parts. Okay, all the small, big screws, nuts, bolts, all of them which hold the whole body of the cycle, they also come into the category of spare parts. So it may have many spare parts. Similarly, this tractor. Oh, this tractor may have thousands of spare parts. This sewing machine. Oh, this aeroplane. It will maybe in lakhs. So many things hold this whole plane together. All these things are spare parts. So many spare parts. So they will be regarded as complex machines. Complex machines have many spare parts, whereas simple machines have one or say 2 or 3 spare parts, not more. Alright. So for today, we will have this much only. In the next class, this chapter is basically about simple machines. Okay, so in the next class, we will study about simple machines and how many types of simple machines are there. Thank you very much for attending this class.